Okay, this will be a very, very common interest kind of a thing we're photocopying, something that most people, normal people especially, can relate to. Something that they really hold close to their hearts. Actually, I'm just thinking it's going to be 141.4, but this is a very popular topic. Hopefully I can make this one look really nice, because normal people absolutely adore these. I'm just trying to think what colour we're going to make the background colour if we need to make one. That's a tough choice. Fuck me dead. So I'm wondering what background colour we're going to give it. Maybe red. It's going to be a tricky one. But basically, yeah, this is not a topic that a lot of people really adore. And normal people really relate to this kind of thing. We're not going all the way. A lot of normal people can relate to this. And even I can relate to it, but I wouldn't want to own any because I'm not good at looking after. But anyway, what is this thing that most people enjoy? It's, of course, dogs and puppies. Oh yeah, this is a real pet favourite, pardon the pun, for a lot of people, normal people and even nerds and geeks too. It's not just for normal people, but normal people really just adore animals, especially dogs and cats, or in this case dogs and puppies. And now they're cute. I don't want one of my own, but I still appreciate seeing them down the street when I'm drinking coffee and they're all got their, every man and woman and dog is with them. This is not a very flattering thing to do with dogs, what I've got here. I'm just wondering if maybe I wonder if I'm going to do another one. But yeah, the red looks really wishy-washy, but the colours look good. Anyway, we're going to try another one. I think I hit a bum note with this one. But yeah, the dogs are really cute. I think most people from most walks of life, including the homeless. I even see homeless people with dogs. But the thing I find with homeless people and dogs is that their dogs are almost always, I think I've never seen a disobedient dog. They just sit there next to their homeless master and they're so peaceful, and they don't make trouble. They don't get excited like normal people's dogs do. They seem to be very obedient. They seem to love their impoverished master to bits. I don't understand why, but how it happens, because, I mean, a person who's homeless is going to, of course, have difficulties feeding the dog because they've got to feed themselves as well. And I'm just amazed at the amount of loyalty that these homeless people's dogs show. And yet rich people and normal people, however, so often their dogs are misbehaving, and they're trying to keep their dog from jumping on people and from barking at other dogs. I mean, it's like they just don't have the same intuition that a homeless person has. I don't know what it is. There's something spiritual, something spooky about it. I don't understand. But I do think it's wonderful that homeless people's dogs do behave, because, hey, it's good for homeless people to show that that homeless people are not, malicious or harmful. It just shows that, it just puts the normal people to shame. I just see so many rich people's dogs. I live in a rich person's area, and they're always trying to get them to sit and to stay, and the dog just wants to jump up on the lap of the master or the owner, and basically wants food, always at the coffee table. And yet homeless people's dogs just sit next to the homeless person, often asleep, and basically they just do what is beyond expected of a dog. And yet homeless people can't afford doggy training. They can't afford, as I said, to feed them properly. Well, I assume that's the case. It's not easy trying to feed yourself being homeless, but having a dog. But the dogs are obviously therapeutic for them. It's good that they have a nice little companion, even though it's going to be a problem if the dog gets sick, for example, or gets injured. But when it comes to behaviour, I'm just absolutely amazed at how the homeless people's dogs are just so well behaved. It's like something spiritual's there, and it's like a homeless person has got more heart energy, or some kind of energy comes out of a homeless person. Yet a rich person, it seems that spoiltness comes out of the rich person, and it gets into the dog as well. So I don't understand, but it's amazing how homeless people's dogs are just so quiet and placid and obedient, even though they're not likely to have a huge feed every day, but it's just something to ponder. I might have to Google that and see if there's anything in it, if there's any scientific explanation for it as to why homeless people's dogs tend to behave better than a person who's got a home and who's rich. Just trying to think which part is going to be the centre of the job. I think that's going to be the centre. You can just see the dog's it's kind of distorted, but it's meant to be a stylised image like I always do. You can see happy birthday on top of its head. But it just seems that I have to try and look for a scientific explanation as to why homeless people's dogs tend to be more placid and more obedient. I don't even think the owner even often has... I think they don't even have leashes half the time. So he just sits there obediently, doing the right thing. And the owner just sits there himself, begging for money or doing something, whatever. But I'm really impressed at how homeless people's dogs are just so well behaved. I just can't believe it. It's just incredible. There has to be a scientific explanation, though. Somewhere there, I have to dig it out of Google or something if I don't forget. See what happens, see if there's any other people who've noticed. But anyway, this is a really colourful piece, and now the red is no longer wishy-washy, so it looks a lot better. I don't know if you normal people are going to like this rendition of a dog. Sometimes the distortion looks a bit too scary or odd, but it's not like I've hurt the animal. It's just a picture and I've distorted it. I like to distort all sorts of things, whatever. So let's see how that goes. Trying to line these up. It's a bit curly. So difficult trying to line up these pieces. See if we can get it like that. I think that's fairly close, but anyway, I think that's an interesting rendition.